Uh,
I'm going.
we are live. We are live.
I'm hitting the promo first.
Bum, 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 bum. Boom. Welcome to episode 95 of Pillar Talk. I'm here with the MichiGanjA MisfiTZ, Twisted Roots, and Hippie Witch. What's up, guys?
What? Oh, there we go. What's happening?
I mean, we have another technical difficulty.
Oh, Jesus. What's happening, man? Great to be here. Great to meet you.
Great to finally talk to you guys.
Yeah. Wow. We see you guys in chat all the time and stuff. We're always in the show watching. It's awesome.
Tell us a little bit about you guys. What you guys are about.
Well, I mean, we are here at Twin Flame Farms. We are twin flames that came together through the COVID crisis, if you will, and we co-created, and well, he created MichiGanjA MisfiTZ. Let's not joke around about that. But I went in and kind of helped him with it now.
Tannery Farms, what up?
But as for myself, I am Amber Lalana. I am the hippie witch, and I have gone from being a professional to being a lifelong stoner always, and a witch in most recent years, and a cancer survivor as well, and now living my best life in northern Michigan. So that is the cut and dry of it for me.
That is great. That is. Now you, Twisted. Who are you and what are you about?
Yes, I'm Twisted Roots. I'm a city boy from Ohio. I've moved out of the whole Miranda or whatever, the fast paced, society of working and paying all your bills and shit. And I'm a military vet, and my body was just breaking. You know what I'm saying? I always smoked weed for pain. I'm not into pills, nothing like that. But then I kept getting in trouble at work and shit. You can't smoke weed and work here kind of thing. So I just kept switching jobs, started business myself for a while. But then it came to a point where I was forced to retire at 37. So I'm like, well, I can't live in Ohio, dude. It's too expensive. Right. So I went through all kinds of military, like doctor stuff. And I was able to get a disability rating, so I get like a paid amount per month. So I'm thinking, man, I got to move somewhere to be able to grow weed. So Michigan's right next door, so here we are. And so this is my 4th year here in Michigan growing medical cannabis. Yep.
How do you like Michigan?
Oh, I love Michigan. I absolutely love Michigan. It's so
way better.
Yeah,
it's way better than Ohio.
Yeah, people are way nicer. Things a lot slower pace. We live way up north in Alpena, so we're not down there by the cities and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like country, man.
You guys ever go down the Asabo River?
No.
I'm very, very new here. I'm originally from Illinois, but I've been Illinois and Colorado back and forth my whole life. So this is I just moved to Michigan in December. This is my very first year in Michigan, and I don't know a lot of things out here. I'm figuring out the climate, but yeah, I'm excited about all of the amazing things out here.
So you just moved here in December, which means this is a newer love story.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is a very new.
This is a COVID love story.
This is a COVID love story, you guys.
Hey man, I got one of those right now. I'm marrying her next month.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Don't you love it? Yeah.
Right.
We were long distance for the first 6 months, so.
That's cool, man. How are you liking Michigan?
I love it. It reminds me. Okay, so the climate reminds me a lot of Illinois. I was born in Illinois, and I know the humidity and the cold that comes with it. It's a little bit more up here, as north as we are, but still getting used to it. But I I am absolutely floored at just the sheer beauty around me, and just being able to wake up every day knowing that this is home, and I literally have like no worries anymore. It's just it's one of those pinch me moments. But I have to admit, living on Lake Huron, literally, it feels like we're living on the ocean. It is just, when I drive into town, I don't go into town often, but when I do, I literally can't take my eyes off the lake, because it's just like, am I really here?
Yeah, and actually, you came at a great time to come to Michigan. You came in December, so it was all snowy, and then you got to see the spring where all the colors come out, and then the Michigan summer is the best. Like right now, from spring till all the way at the end of fall, it's beautiful colors, and you live in the best spot that I like to go see Michigan summers.
Michigan falls are my favorite.
Yep.
The fall time in Michigan, they're especially where you guys are, beautiful.
Yep.
Well, all the trees, I can only imagine. I wish there was a little bit more hills here. I don't know. There's no hills, but I would love to have to be elevated and just look at all the trees.
If you I know if you go over to the other side of Michigan, it's more hilly.
We have a couple hills over here, down by where's Canapoo's at?
Hubbard Lake. There's,
that mountain or whatever down there. But those are really hills for people who come from Colorado. You know what I mean? These are sand dunes and shit.
I mean,
we take our drone up and then we get to see, across the plain. What's really unique up here is there's no skyscrapers. There's no tall buildings. There's literally nothing over 3 stories tall. So when you're looking across the whole canopy, it's all trees. It's wild.
There's no blockades. It's great.
Except you got the water towers that say Alpina and shit.
Right. Yeah. That's I go up there to since I was 1 year old. I was on the Asaba River going down canoe tripping on it.
Yeah. We talked about it, but there was no time for it. Sure.
It's fun. It's fun. You get out there. We went early so we could see all the wildlife crossing the river, getting their drinks and stuff. See baby black bears and stuff out there swimming and stuff. Yep, dude, I see a Bambi almost every time I go down that river.
Oh, wow. I love it. That is so awesome.
It's great. At least go check it out. It's one of the coolest rivers in Michigan, I believe. I'm
gonna write it down.
Trout fishing. It's crazy. Yep, the Asabo. Yeah. It's like Ausable.
Yeah, it's great. It's the famous one that everyone can take canoes down. I'm pretty sure that's where Mish Bros Grow Show, they all get together and have a little gathering. I think that's where they go down. I could be wrong, but I missed theirs. It was June 7th, I think.
Yeah, they do a river cleanup. They give free canoes out to everybody. You go down there and you get a couple trash bags and you go down that river, you clean that shit up. Yep. It's really fun too.
Awesome.
That's cool.
And I mean, dude, even if you don't even try, you can get like a couple bags of trash because if you stop and go up to the campsites, that's where people lay all their shit, and they do it right after the party hardy on the river season happens.
They don't clean it up for themselves.
It's really nice up there, man. And a lot of people we go up there on vacation just to do that.
Yeah.
That is
up there just to work. What
do that. I would do that in a heartbeat.
You know what I'm trying to do? So other people have the little river rafting and stuff like that, like inner tubes. Wouldn't it be cool to have party rafts? So instead of parade floats, you really make a float that's like a Huck Finn type of a craft.
That'd be sick.
Kind of like a floating pontoon boat with no motor.
You guys all come and then we all get together. We hook them all together.
Oh,
we can party on all.
Everybody has their own little flat.
My name's Huckleberry Finn.
Yep. we're just partying on the river down here. You tell you what.
Dude, I think that would be so fucking fun, man.
Hell yeah.
What got each of you into weed? Period. Cannabis, period. What got you into
well, since I was a very small child, I grew up in the whole biker hippie era. As a child, a little kid in diapers. So we were at the swap meets, the whole drag bikes, getting chased by MPs, got all these crazy pictures. And I was always sitting around people with bongs and beers and Harley dudes, Hells Angels and hippies, long haired, smoking all this stuff.
Long haired freaky people.
Yeah. So like, I have baby pictures of me in fields of weed. So I'm like, yeah, it just was always in my blood. As a little kid, my parents would kind of keep the cigarettes away from us. And then when they smoked weed, it was just right there, you
Right.
know? And so it's always been around. So, growing up, you learn to be a little mischievous. So I started sneaking little roaches and stuff, and trying it out, being a little kid.
Typical kid. Everything.
Yeah. But it always stuck with me. And ever since I was can remember being 15. Now I went through football and all that cool stuff. So I was like a straight A, straight guy for a while. But then it was always weed. And about, 15 years old, I was in the basement, looking at the High Times magazine, just dreaming. I was like, this is my calling. I know this is me. And I've always dreamed about being a breeder. Always. I wanted to create those strains, not just grow them. So, I always just stuck with the weed, and we have long histories, in Ohio of all that good stuff, but we don't go into that.
You just like running a porn website for weed plants, eh?
Yeah. So it just came down to, I got hurt real bad when I was doing garage doors. I got smashed by a 1,000-pound garage door pretty bad. And I needed pain medication, so I was always smoking weed, on the job.
Right.
It's totally illegal in Ohio. And they're like, you cannot do this. I'm like, well, I can't work. So they put me on retirement at 37. And then I stayed in Ohio for 1.5 years. But the VA hospital is too many people in those VA hospitals. So you're not really looked at serious. So I had to move somewhere where the VA hospital is better and they took you more seriously. And I could, grow weed legally. So that's where I kind of started, what led me into it. And that's where I am now.
And that was 4 years ago?
What's that?
That was 4 years ago?
What?
That you came here? You said it was 4 years.
No. I came here in 2017. I lived up north for about 6 months in Rogers City. And then until I found this house.
Okay.
Down here. But this is my 4th season growing.
Okay.
Spot in Michigan, but I've lived here for about 4.5 years. Yeah, but so I'm 40, about to be 44, right? How old am I? Shit.
Yeah.
I am 44 now. How old am I? Damn, I forgot.
No, you're gonna
Where's
be.
Schumann?
You just turned 40. You just turned 40. You just turned 44.
Yeah, so I'm 44 now.
44 in March.
Yeah, so I'm 44 now. So when I was 37, that's when they put me on retirement.
Okay.
And I was just able to, I had to move somewhere basically where I didn't need to work. I was really hurt, really skinny, real frail. I couldn't pick things up. Watering plants was almost impossible for me. My shoulders were all messed up and stuff. And so it took a couple years to, fix that. And I did it all with cannabis, 100% with cannabis.
That's how I do it too. And I trip, I microdose on mushrooms to help me with my mind. With my mindset, when I get a little bit of that PTSD and start freaking out. Yeah. Hippie Witch, how did you get started on weed?
Well,
weed.
Like Twisted, I actually need to hit the bowl now. So no.
I took one cannabis, and that was it.
That was it. That was it, man.
So I'm a lifer. I say I was born high, and which I probably was because my mom is, they were hippies. My mom smoked through her whole pregnancy. She was smoking on the way to the hospital type thing. My dad, it's always been just around me, just like Twisted. It's never been out of my system. It's never been out of my system, whether it's secondhand or through blood. I actually started smoking when I was 13, and I was never in the farming industry, if you will. My parents never did the horticulture, so I was never around in that aspect of things. It was all recreational, and all, because my uncle on my mom's side, he was somebody who sold in Colorado. So when I moved to Colorado, when I was younger, at that point is when I started smoking, and I went ahead, and he had big old bags of it in his basement. And I'm like, oh, is he gonna? He's not gonna notice a bud or two missing, you know? And he never did. At least I don't think so.
Right.
He never questioned me anyway. I was the sweet little innocent Amber.
Now look at that bud.
This is preemie.
Yeah, we just picked that.
I like that. That's
Very nice.
that's a good, nice one. And have you used cannabis differently since you defeated cancer?
Well, actually, I was going to basically get to that. Is that it's always been recreational. My entire life, I always used recreational. And then when I moved to Colorado, it was kind of half and half. Was back to my kind of like where I grew up. It was legal. Let's get out of Illinois. Illinois sucks. That kind of thing, right? So, and then lo and behold, I get diagnosed with cancer. So now it becomes medicinal for me as well. And this is actually, I am both recreational and medicinal, both at the same time. I don't have a lot of side effects anymore from going through my cancer fight. I have some, but not a lot. But it's, I'm at the point now where, I've still not reached my year of cancer free. I still had, I have a mammogram as scheduled next month. And, we're all, praying to the alien gods that it's all good, right?
Yeah.
Cannabis.
Well, good luck,
baby.
But I'm
good luck, 100%.
Thank you. Because I'm treating it with RSOs currently. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to finish that one.
No, that's what I was literally gonna say. Have you used RSOs? Because I'm going through some pain issues and stuff like that. And if I could use the RSOs, because I've been researching it heavy now, and people use them all the way from pain to sleep, and I need all of that in between, everything, all of it. Yes. So
yeah, in case you don't know, I know you've been paying attention, but T-Rup got into a severe motorcycle accident. What is it, 3 years or 2?
3 years.
3 years ago, to the point 5% chance to live. He was on fire. His bones were broken.
Holy shit! I didn't know it was that.
My God.
Handlebars through his belly.
Yeah. So
damn, bro.
Yeah. So the recovery, you guys both recovered, and you guys use cannabis, and I've been by myself. I've been like, okay, I could use cannabis and psychedelics to get over this shit.
Wow.
That I had to go through, going to the hospital for 2 years or being in the hospital for 2 years, living there. So like when I hear your stories, like my case manager had breast cancer and she beat it. She's did her 3rd year cancer free she's on 3 years. And she said the biggest thing that she wished she did is started, instead of using the pain meds and all these chemo treatments, that she would have started using cannabis if it was more, because it wasn't relevant when she just got out of it. Like, it wasn't that relevant. And then she started researching it, and then doctors started researching it.
Mm-hmm.
And then now she's like, I wish I would have fucking did that now. And then she uses it now, some CBD and stuff like that for her side effects she has.
Yeah.
From chemo. Did you do chemo?
I did, actually. That's one of those things I wish I would have been able to be in a circumstance where I could have healed myself from cannabis solely, because it just wasn't readily available for me, and I could not spend a fortune getting what I needed to get.
She did have a lot of help from the community. Shout out to the whole cannabis community.
I did have so much love and help that was just sent to me through good vibes and sent in and medicine and all of that. It was an amazing thing. It was one of those, universal moments. I started YouTube in January or February of 2019. Met these beautiful people that year at Cannapalooza. I met a lot of them, and actually in person, I took the plunge and went 1,000 miles from Colorado to Michigan and said, "Fuck it, I'm going to this festival." Met them, and lo and behold, I needed them because that year, months later, is when I was diagnosed. Okay. And it was just one of those things, that you can't deny that you're led on that path, right? But
we call that synchronicity over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I didn't have a lot, that I could latch onto for the cannabis medicinal help through my fight. So I did go through everything that someone can go through while fighting breast cancer. I went through the chemo treatment. I went through surgery twice, and I went through the radiation. A lot of people have different, things that they do. Some do all of them, some do none, some do whatever. It depends on the cancer you have, right? But I was HER2 positive, and so it was hormonal, and which is another kind of leads to why I'm doing RSO therapy now, because I chose to not continue. I chose to not even start the anti-hormonal therapy that they wanted to put me on for 5 years afterwards. I did enough research to know that most of the population that took that did not have a good value of life while they took it. And to me, my happiness and my value of life is much more important, especially going through that and knowing at such a young age that I almost fucking went. It's like, I'm not going to put myself into a pill that's going to make me not feel good, So I take the RSO, they knock me the fuck out the way we make them. I don't take little at a time. I take like big fucking doses, and I sleep for 12 hours.
But the important part is she's getting that medicine. And that's when I was like talking to her about these pills have so many side effects. And that's what she was kind of getting about. Yeah. And I was telling her about the cannabis, and I was like, listen, I have so much faith that the cannabis will heal your cancer and could have healed you if you would have been taken before, that please don't take those pills. You don't need it. So you're moving here. Trust me, I got tons of shit. We're going to make as many RSOs as you need. And that's what it's about. And that's what, for me, scientifically, I'm so fucking interested on this test, because it will prove that with no pills,
I'm his test subject right
totally, she's my patient. No,
I'm his guinea pig.
No remediation of any kind of cancer treatment at all for an entire year except RSOs. This is going to prove that the shit works. This is hormonal cancer. This is totally motherfucking different.
Yep.
Than regular shit.
Yep. And that's why I like the cannabis community too, is because you guys all can come together and there's a whole different aspect, because like when I go to doctors, their first thing is, you want to get prescribed this, I could prescribe you all this. And I'm like, look, dude, I don't want to be a zombie, or I don't need pain pills to wake up every day and move around. I just got to get moving. And I know that. And then when I tell them I use cannabis and psychedelics for everything, for just the whole thing, they say they're proud of me for not taking the pills. Then why are you
pushing them?
It's their job.
Yep.
That's their job. And everybody, here's another side of it besides their job. Most people want an easy fix.
Yep.
They want to be fixed. Well,
that's what my doctor
pills mask, they don't fix.
Yep. That's what my doctor said. He said, because everybody, as soon as I tell them the shit that they can get prescribed, they say thank you later, and they're gone.
Yep.
These are the pills that have helped in the past. All right, cool. See you. I'll see you next month. Mm-hmm. And that's what he says. Nobody sits down and really takes a look inside themselves to try to figure this stuff out.
Yep.
And that's what I was like, then why aren't we like talking about this?
I was going to say, I feel like it's really, if they notice that and they cognizantly see that, I think it is their responsibility as doctors, as taking their doctoral oath or whatever the fuck it is, that they need to educate these patients on what they could be doing healthier for themselves. Yep. Is that not what you're fucking around for?
It's not their job. Their first job, is to get that money. Now, if you discover the truth on your own, like I was getting at the VA doctors, it was illegal. Times are changing, folks. Times are changing. Cannabis is coming back, because the VA is now in the works of getting approved to give vets with the PTSD. Like, I wear this shirt that says, like, you won't like me when I'm angry, and it's Incredible Hulk, and that's the damn truth. Like, that's my PTSD. It's a fight or flight response. So when I get
what I got,
I get these situations, I will fight before I go run. You know what I mean? And that could be in a bad situation a lot of times. So I have to stay calm. The doctors are now noticing this. Like, the doctors for me wanted to give me all these different pain medications and this and that for different various things, and they put me on these antipsychotics for the PTSD. And bro, I was like a zombie.
Yep.
I would drive places. I didn't know why I was there. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know my name. They were like, "Do you have a wallet?" I was like, "Can you help me look?" I didn't know where to look for my wallet, dude. They had to pull it out and tell me who I was, and it would slowly start coming to me. And I'm like, I can't take these pills, dude. I was losing. Like, I have photographic memory, dude. And sometimes I get tested, and I'm like, shit. But that's from those fucking pills, dude.
That's what I told them.
To erase my memories. That's what they do in the military. They try to erase certain chronological orders of memories. Yep. Well, with me, my shit's like a fucking filing cabinet. So it's in there all crazily. You know, it's in different rows. You start wiping out rows. Mainly wiping out my childhood, my damn whole past, dude.
Yep.
You know, so I had to quit those.
What they do is there's axons in the brain that fire the electronic signals or whatever. They just cut those axons off so you don't get that feeling. And that's what I told the doctor. I said, dude, I have a brain injury. I have 30% of my brain is a scar right now, and you want to make me feel like I'm more brain injury than what I was, because I've never took a psych med since the accident, and I know a lot. Like I mean, I retained a lot of my stuff.
Yeah,
and I think the pills are just a mask to make you just think, okay, I'm better. And if they shut your brain off, then you don't have to worry about shit if they shut your brain off.
Yeah.
And and that's what I'm trying to tell them. That's why I get younger doctors, the ones that just get out of school. You know, I get younger ones, or I go in there and I actually.
Hoping they got that thought, like maybe they smoked weed in high school and they know what it's about. No, it's about me. Yeah. That's good thoughts. I usually go for Indian or Mexican doctors because I know that they will have knowledge in their Bibles. You know, whether you believe it or not, come to We Church, God's gospel, baby. Learn the truth. But check it out. In their Bibles, they have the truth of medicine and cannabis and all the healing shrooms and all those true medicines, like the Mexicans or the Indian doctors, these different people. Chinese know it too, but they'll throw you a root herb instead. You know what I'm saying? They use some ginseng and shit. Like, no, man, give me that cannabis.
Yeah, and it takes a lot. You got to soul search. If you use cannabis and like say psychedelics or all this natural medicine, you still have to put an effort to be okay. Like and then I think it strengthens your mind. That's what I think the most. It brings it to a level, and then you're like, okay, I'm strong in my head. I can do this without anything. Like at this point, I know I can wake up and not smoke weed all day and be totally fine in my mind, everything whatsoever. I'm going to though, but you know, and I don't have to take mushrooms every day. But if I had a crap week, let me find 0.7 and see what I can do and have a good day, and then have a little thought in my head. But all these thoughts ain't negative; they're just real positive and like what I could do differently about my life to make my life better, you know?
Yeah.
And
so have you ever tried RSO?
No.
Oh, bro.
He actually, this is my fault because I thought he already knew. Just found out about RSO last week.
Oh, really? Shit. I wish I would have been telling you about it. This is my thing, bro. This is my thing. Like, for real, if I would have known about RSO back in the day, bro, I'm telling you, I would have been the most famousest motherfucker in Ohio, bro. It spread everywhere. We didn't know about none of this shit on the East Coast. West Coast's been hiding this shit, man, forever. They put it in songs and we're stupid. Didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, dude.
They put it on caves in the fucking caves.
For real. Like, we didn't know none about none of this shit, man. I just started making RSOs a while ago, man. But it's the thing, bro. It is the absolute medicine. I'm telling you. So like you like the shrooms, like we love the shrooms, right? Take the RSO. You take like I make these RSOs out of COVID-19. Shout out to the pandemic. And some people they mistake and they'll take two. And I'm like, oh, you fucked up. And dude,
they'll make a mistake and take it right then and there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No,
don't do that, bro. Like, it'll literally twist your mind, dude. Once you get to that point, I
That's
know
right.
y'all maybe have eaten that good brownie, right? We used to make brownies back in the day. I swear to God, I would trip, dude, trip balls, everything. I couldn't
yeah.
walk, talk.
For sure.
That's why it's a Schedule 1 drug still on the federal, list, because it's mind altering. It's a psychedelic. Marijuana is not really when you just smoking stuff. When you pull out those different cannabinoids, holy shit, man.
It is. It really is because, dude, on the Super Bowl, I wanted Tom Brady to win so bad. I mean, he did, but I took way too many edibles. I ate a fuck ton of edibles, and I fucking don't remember shit. Nothing. I was wasted for 3 days.
Yeah.
I OD'd on edibles. I promise
for
you.
real.
And I had to come down like off of it, like.
Oh no.
I had to sit down for a
Now,
fucking day.
There is a way. There is a way. I can't remember what it is offhand. I researched it, though, a way how you come down off of an edible high. You know what I mean? They do have something, and I forget what it is. I think they even sell it at dispensaries now. It's like some kind of a thing you take, and it will bring you off of your edible high. Because I've had people to beg me to take them to the hospital. I'm like, no, trust me. This is what you want. This is your brain needs this. Like,
dude, I'm a floating head. Just take me to the freaking hospital. I'm just a little head. You can carry me.
Some people aren't prepared for it. They think it's a bad thing, but it's like they're tripping, bro. Your eyes go, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Your brain, you don't know really what reality is at that particular time. You know what I mean? But it's the healing that your body is transforming. It's like a butterfly.
Sounds like a good time.
Imagine what a caterpillar might have to go through in a cocoon to turn into a moth.
Dude, have you ever actually? That's the craziest thing that you said. The eyes go back and forth. You know what that thing does in that cocoon the whole time? If you put a time lapse on it, that whole cocoon's moving and shaking, moving around, getting everything going. Dude, that's crazy. You're totally right though. And yeah, I've had serious trips. I've had serious trips off of a fucking joint before. Just by accident. Just like, oh my God.
If
you got the right one that mixes with your cannabinoids.
Dude, so if you mix different kinds of weeds together, right? We were unsure. We had to test them. Now I'm new to this. I won't lie. We've grown shit before in Ohio. I took horticulture, all these different things, but I'm no cannabis expert by any means. We're all learning in this community. We'll all help each other, right? So through testing and shit these last 4 years, we've learned so many cool things. One thing is grow with frequency. If you're not using frequency, you don't know what the hell you're missing. But anyway, is if you mix like
explain that. Explain what you said.
Hold on a second. If you mix certain kinds of marijuanas together, like you will get a totally different experience. Bro, we were high for 2 days. Off of this, we thought it was this one weed, but we had mixed. We smoked something else first. So anyway, with frequency, right? So through Weed Church, it used to be called Weed Church. So I studied like ancient history and all the religions, and I want to know who created humans. Where did we come from? Because my whole life I believed in aliens. I knew Bigfoot was real. I knew when I went to church and Bible school, I used to get kicked out, dude. They just put me in a corner and shit because I told them the truth. I was like, no, that's not God. That's an alien. That's a spaceship, dude. I'm like, what are you talking about? Right. So through that research in the Sumerian tablets, all I kept hearing was crystals, frequency, and these different kinds of magical words, right? And talking about how everything was basically science and frequency that equals magic, if you guys weren't aware, right? So it's science and frequency equals magic. So I kept hearing this and hearing this and hearing this. And I'm over here trying to figure out how to outgrow everybody in my Grow Bigger Go Home show, right? I'm not gonna get an upper hand on these folks here, right? So I'm always have believed in these different aspects. It's part of me. It always has been. So we've come to find out that everything's done with crystals and frequency, and the Anunnaki actually grew all these plants and they brought them to this planet, and this one plant was responsible for their satiation. And throughout history, when you follow this plant, especially where they planted it over there in Lebanon and Afghanistan, that's where the weed comes from, people, right? So it was a ganja plant, ancient ganja plant, and they harvested the the fruit and made their elixirs, and then they ate the seeds for their longer life. So through this research and knowledge, I found Sonic Bloom, and it became part of we call this name Sonic Culture, right? So it's a tweeter system, and Dr. Dan Carlson, he did research in the University of Minnesota. I do believe it is. I always want to say Michigan, but I think it is Minnesota.
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 Yeah, what up, Mr.
One
Lincoln?
of them.
Everybody is watching Ross and Smoke. What
Cheers,
up?
everybody.
Solomon Bong. So he did all this research with all these scientists. He wanted to grow bigger corn. It was all designed for agriculture, right? And so he would play music to his plants and notice his plants would get bigger every year. So he did all this research and figured out that between 19 and 30 hertz, plants really produce very well in the root system and in the plant cellular structure, which is tetrahedral in shape. So if you can activate all the points on the tetrahedron inside your growth, these frequencies bouncing off each other, your plant will dance and wiggle, and scientifically prove that this shit works. So all the stuff's on the Sonic Bloom page if you guys want to check it out, or check out our page. It's Twin Flame Farms with a Z.com. Check out all our shit on the Sonic Culture. But literally, I've been using this for 3 years now. And it's a tweeter system and a foliar spray. And what it does, the tweeter system opens up the stomatas super fucking huge, like that. Instead of eating a French fry, you're trying to eat the whole burger and shit. Like, it opens up super wide, so it takes in 200% more nutrients. It can take up to 200% better in the nutrient zone, and then in the root zone, it'll produce 7. What up, Stick Built? It'll produce up to 700% better nutrient uptake in the root zone. So I've done all kinds of tests year after year, and wherever the sound's coming from, the roots in a pot will actually grow. Yeah, so it's a super, super, super. You have to know. Not even believe. You just have to know about the frequency and the magic of crystals and how it works. And
well, and it works in humans too.
Certain
frequency you can make humans attack each other.
You can make them poop their pants.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to add from before.
Man.
With Sour Diesel and Frequency, I have my headphones on and blasted binaural beats and for basically DNA repair and to fix my shoulder. And I use Frequency to fix my shoulder. And we're using CBD to heal Attila right now, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dude, that was the smartest 6 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
I understood it and everything. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I don't want to take over your show with the whole frequency talk, but
you're a fucking genius, dude.
I can talk for hours.
He does. And
I just make my plants dance. What do you mean? They fucking dance. They're good vibes all around. I'm just dancing in my garden.
You could literally
no bad vibes.
time lapse. You could literally time lapse your plants and watch them dance around like this, and inside cellularly, magic is happening. At 430 hertz, I think 432 is the frequency of light. So if you play the frequency of light to your plant, I believe can grow in the dark. I haven't done the experiment yet, but I have another homie. He does all kinds of crazy stratosphere. He recreated a experiment with a stratosphere, the kind of energy that has, to see what the kind of effects, because seeds come from space and shit and come into our atmosphere somehow, some fucking way, and or they're coming up from our ground and they float around in the stratosphere and they are getting an electrical charge, so things come back down to the earth and they're affected and grow different kinds of ways. So that's why we believe maybe what could have happened in the past with cannabis, and why there's so many different crazy variations. How do we go from this biblical hemp to what we have today? I know it could be crossed so many different kinds of ways, but
the entire structure seems to have changed.
Totally changed. It used to be the fragrant cane. That means it was like a sugar cane
like
with a fat ass flower on the top.
Yeah, but what do would you think? Like some of these strains are just because every environment's different. And it's the most versatile plant.
If you look, here's a second. Go back to what you said about the cane part. So if you take a second and see the plants, if they've lollipopped them, they look like canes.
Yeah, absolutely. There could. There's all kinds of different ways. That's why we research it and try to figure out how, where all the cannabis came from. But, the cannabis is only one thing they talked about back in those days. They had the ayahuasca and whatever that word is.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah. Oh, man. You guys hear about that one, though? So in the Eskimos and the people up in the North Pole and shit, they feed the reindeer this trippy shit, and it goes through their digestive system. They collect the piss, the pee, the urine from the reindeer, and they consume that, drink that raw, and that's where they get their enlightened experience of.
Everybody fucking trips on something, dude. I'll lick a toad, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
you ever see F for Family?
Yeah, just like that, dude. You're telling me if I drink this deer's piss, I'm gonna fucking trip balls?
Yeah,
I'll be under there like pee in my mouth, dude.
Yeah,
it's a deer. Is it a deer?
Reindeer.
A reindeer.
They're reindeer. They feed this thing. I forget what it was. So I watch Psychedelica when I'm like passing out, and it's the craziest shit, dude. If you guys ever want to check it out, Psychedelica. I think on
it's
Hulu.
on Gaia.
Oh, on Gaia.
Gaia television.
Oh, it's so
maybe
awesome.
It might be somewhere else too.
It might be somewhere else. It sounds like a Vice TV show. Remember Vice?
Dude, I know. I think it might be ayahuasca or DMT or something. It's made by rubbing a plant on a bark of another plant, and that's what it's made by. I forget what it might be, ayahuasca or.
I think that is ayahuasca. It's DMT. You got to refine down, and I guess you.
It's a root and a bark.
Yeah, it's root and a bark, and they mix it. They rub it, and I don't know how they do it, but when I tried to go down that rabbit hole, I came out of the rabbit hole stupider than I went in.
What it is, dude? It's all
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
This is ancient knowledge that these Indian tribes were trying to keep secret. I was watching the documentaries on it and shit. They were trying to keep this shit secret. And some white man found them, stumbled upon their shit, and he was like, they were like, okay, I'll let you take pictures, but you can't publish them anywhere. It's like, oh yeah, cool. And they gave him this whole experience, so a real experience, so he would know. And years went by, and then he got out of the jungle or whatever and went back to main society, and then sold the whole story and the pictures to Life magazine, bro. Boom! It was over. These villages got raided. They went and just destroyed their sacred lands. So, dude, what we get today, shit. They were all talking about it. That's guaranteed nothing like what it is when they do their rituals. You know what I'm saying? They always, like, one dude was talking about how, like, if you mix the bark differently, it could be all bark, and it's not the other active ingredient. It's nothing.
They say you do the ayahuasca and you throw up your entire soul.
Yeah,
like, just throw up, and then they say the whole trip is terrible. Like, you're throwing up, you're not having a good time, and you're laying down, but you have the craziest fucking trip of your whole entire life. And I would like to do that and see if I could go, see if I could go
survive.
That reminds me of the Marvel movie when when the black guy like takes that flower essence and dies, and he's like got to go into this bad trip thing and come back. Yeah. Kind of type thing. That's why I just like pictured that.
Yeah. No, that's how it is though. They get so like in deep spiritual. That's why the shaman are the ones that have to apply that or will distribute.
They have to guide the trip. You have to have a guide for the trip.
You have to have a spirit guide. And if you have a dark spirit guide, you're screwed. Put charges on one of these guys that was doing this down in South America, and he had a foreigner, a Westerner, probably an American traveler, went down there and went to the ceremony, and they chopped his body up, bro. They used him as a ceremonial sacrifice, and then he ended up going to prison and all this kind of shit.
Well, son of a bitch. Now I don't want to do it.
Maybe no, it's not going to the native land.
Body. Well, that's what it is, though. Is
Holy
they can
moly.
take over your body when you're in that spiritual world. You're actually in altered dimensions, bro. Your mind and your body, your soul is there, bro. You're in that fucking tethered world right there. I always talk about it, bro, because sometimes I could see it. Sometimes I could see it.
Yeah, that's and I want to use that for me to like come to terms with my accident and everything that's happened since the accident. I want to use that, but then I don't want to go face it, because if my mind's blocking it, then it must be blocking it for a reason.
Yeah,
I suffered a lot of damage and I woke up 30 days later, so I really didn't feel nothing.
Yeah.
So if I go back and find out what that shit was all like, I don't want to feel that pain.
Yeah.
You got to be ready.
You never know. It might just guide you through to a better
understanding.
You know how you feel now?
That's
not knowing?
Yeah.
That's what you just said, understanding. What if it balances you out, brings you to that understanding? Because that's what it's supposed to do. All these different psychedelics, they're healing. Like mushrooms is the medicine they're using for schizophrenia now.
Yeah.
That word I just fucked up.
I did a ton of research on it and threw it on my doctor's table, and me and him had a 40-minute conversation about it. And I left the room making him think about mushrooms.
Yeah.
Like a dude that's
migraines,
20 years smarter than me. I just told him, he was like, holy shit. He's like, I never really thought about it. And he researched it and came back at me the month later when I went and seen him. Yeah. And he said, yeah, and he approved everything that I told him, because I researched it. I was listening to a YouTube video on the way to
YouTube University,
and I was like, motherfucker, listen to this. This dude was serving balls on mushrooms. I know he was right.
Yep. Yeah, it is amazing what the psychedelics will do for you. And what it is, like when you microdose, like you guys were talking about earlier, you don't get what you're doing is you're getting like energy and a lightened feeling a bit, and like a better grasp on reality of what's around.
You feel good.
You
feel good, and you love being alive. That's like, what I
remember the God dose. The God dose.
Is what? 15 grams?
Yeah, you gotta take the God dose. That's what they talked about. Okay, on these spiritual people. You have to take that God dose to be able to come to grips with yourself. They say if you want to know yourself, you're supposed to take, 9 grams of shrooms and sit in complete darkness with no sound and close your eyes.
Wow.
To face yourself.
Dude, I would come out floating.
That's some shit I would do, though.
But that's what they say to do. That's your enlightenment right there. But
I don't want to do it by myself, though. I don't want to do it by myself, though. It really gets me.
That's your fear.
Yeah, that's my fear
too.
See, that's something that I always tend to say.
Imagine going to bed.
You've got to go through the shit to get through into a brighter.
Into the thick of it.
Literally.
The thick of it to get into the brighter on the other side. You have to, no matter what you're going. It's same with like just basic relationships. Not even talking as deep as we're going, but you have to get through it. You're never gonna get over things or through things if you don't put yourself in it and really work on what the fuck is going on and
feel the feelings and everything.
Right here,
you gotta feel it.
Rosin says, if you don't like who you are, that's a bad idea. But the whole point is to see where you need to improve yourself.
Exactly. What if you don't like yourself, but what you don't like about yourself is just in your own mind? That's what our weakness is, people. As a human, it's your mind that is your weakness. You know what I'm saying? Once you enlighten yourself and break through your barriers,
And then constantly, another thing is, I think it's constantly trying to be approved of. Like, does this person approve of me? Or just be you, dude.
Yes.
Yep.
Be you.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Who cares? Be you. Are you cool?
The people that want to be your friend will be your real friend because
Yeah.
you're
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I
That's what I
absolutely
say.
believe that. I've been most of my life, just up until recently, maybe the last 5 years of my life, you know, I finally kind of learned and came into myself the last 5 years, and the last 2 most certainly. But I've always been that people pleaser, if you will. I've always been in like the customer service industry and always kind of like brought that into every single part of my life. I feel like, you know, it's like, you can say no, bitch.
Yeah, that it's I just recently, in the last 3 years since I had the accident, I realized, because even before the accident, I love flowers, little kitties. I did like everything, you know, but I wouldn't admit to it because I'm a man. I'm a big burly man. And now once I got in the hospital and was laying up in there and they were changing my wounds while I was butt naked, just sitting there, like, I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter what people think anymore. Like, and now I can just be who I want to be. I'm wearing a butterfly scarf today. And I love
that.
I love
I fucking love it.
That.
I love
And-
your personality. You know what's cool though now, bro? Is all those things that we do, those quirks that we all have that make us dorks and nerds and shit,
Yeah.
make us funny to our girls, you know, but no, don't tell anybody, right? It's cool now. Bro, go on TikTok. Man, people are doing all kinds of funny ass shit, but it's fun. And that's what I'm talking. Being a human, be yourself, be your personality. Yes. There's no, like, I left society so I wouldn't have that whole, you have to be this certain kind of way. You had to have this,
you got to conform.
This kind of car. You know, I wear the same damn pants for 5 days if I want to. What? Say something. I'm comfortable.
Right.
I'm fine. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Keeping up with the Joneses is not anything that is popular anymore in my book.
And I think, honestly, like, a lot of negativity comes from my accident, but a lot of positivity came from my accident. I believe that if I would have never had the accident, none of this would have happened, or I wouldn't be like, I feel like I'm a lot more grown up. Like I appreciate life. Like I'm able to talk to these 85-year-olds in the sauna, and we're talking like we've been friends our whole life.
Yeah.
And so I feel good. I appreciate the accident, and I came to terms that it was a really good thing that happened in my life.
Yeah, I think I so relate to you.
Yeah, you have to be able to.
Wow.
You have to see why, like, you know what I'm saying? It's appreciate.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. I wake up every morning and I'll be grumpy sometimes, but I tell you what, when I go outside, it's greener. I don't even care if everything's dead. It's just greener. Like, oh man, this wind, you know, all this rain. I thought I was never gonna feel it again. You know,
she's gonna get all emotional.
I did because I completely know what you mean. I feel the same way about having cancer.
It's her first birth year this year. It's her first rebirth year this year on the 29th of September.
Cry, that's silly.
Happy birthday to Jody.
Yep.
But yeah,
happy birthday, Jody.
Hey. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is deep though, bro.
Yeah, and the same thing. That's why I was so happy to talk to Hippie Witch, is because, like, I like it, and I like my path. I want to hear everybody else's path.
Yeah.
The way up the mountain, and then now you're at the top of the mountain, like, dude, this is awesome. And then you find a way to keep climbing, even though like there's never, it's a constant battle, and you still climb and you still go, and you that's my favorite thing to hear, because that the recovery is where you get the full enlightenment, I think.
Yes, you're absolutely right. There's always a silver lining that you have to search for. If you can't see it, you have to search for it, because there's always if not a lesson, it's a path that has been brought to you, and you need to go through to become more enlightened on the other side,
Yeah,
regardless
because
of what it is. For me, it was cancer. You know, for you, it was a near-death experience through an accident, and for everybody, it's something different. It could be anything, and to know what you have, to embrace and be thankful and the utmost grateful for it's. Sometimes you think you're grateful, but until like sometimes you realize you weren't really as grateful as you really were.
yeah, I took everything for granted. I took breathing. I woke up and had to teach myself how to breathe. Okay, in, out, or else I would run out. Like I would not breathe, and
Wow.
like because the brain injury, I couldn't talk when I first woke up. So I had to teach myself how to breathe, how to create words and stuff. I was like, I took all that shit for granted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was just talking blah 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 my whole life and didn't realize that it really is hard to talk. You know, it's really hard to keep my mind on breathing. You know, and then now it's muscle memory. It's the same thing
Right.
like
Absolutely.
before, but
But you had to learn it.
yeah, I had to
Something that
relearn
was
it. And,
instinctive
Great
for
description,
you had
though.
to learn.
Great freaking description.
I had to learn how to walk again. Like I was literally a toddler or an infant when I came out of the accident. And then, you know, I had to relearn everything. And now, because I do feel like when August 10th happens every year, I feel like it's another year. Like I'm 3 years old.
Yes.
Beating
That's
shit out
why
of
he
this.
calls it my first year. This
Yep.
is,
You literally
we
almost
celebrate
lost
on
her.
my birthday, since you know it's just like
Yeah.
a rebirth day, if you will. So yeah, this is my first year, really full year back.
Cheers,
That's
man.
awesome. That's awesome.
Oh.
And happy birthday.
And thank you. Coming up on the 29th.
Absolutely.
But I feel strong. I feel good. I feel,
Oh,
you know, and it's not been that long. Now that it seems like with everything that's happened with us and coming here, and it's just like that was only last year.
Yep.
Not to mention the pandemic for everyone
There's
else. It's
nothing
like
in
people
this.
forget a year past. It's like that was only a year ago.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, it was only a year ago that I almost goddamn died.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then, well, the first 2 years was terrible because I would be stuck in a slump because oh my
Yeah.
God, I almost died. This is, and then this year I've been going to therapy. I've been getting all my shit separated, everything but medicine I've been doing, and now this year I really felt like it was an empowering birthday, but it wasn't even my birthday. It was the day after my dad's birthday, and I celebrated like I'm 3 years old, dude. You know?
Hell yeah.
You
And-
felt it, be it.
Yeah, I know. And can I ask you a little bit more about some RSO?
Yeah.
Because
What do you want to know?
You're the smartest motherfuckers I know about that. You guys hit me with a whole bunch of knowledge already. How do you make it, and what does it like honestly do? Because there's a big list. Like, what have you felt it do for you in that stuff? I just want to know from people who use it.
Yeah. So this is the funnest part, is making it. So there's all kinds of crazy people out there that make videos of them making like these little amounts. So we make 5 gallon buckets of the shit. You know, we put like a pound, put like a pound and a half. Supposed to put like a quarter pound or something in there. Make it super fucking heavy, deep. So you put it in the alcohol. You want is deep alcohol is like up to 100%. You know what I mean? Like alcohol. But you know, a lot of times you can find 99%, or at the dollar store we find 91%. It all still works great. The 70-something% will work, and I'm talking about the isopropyl pill. Now you can use what's it called? Moonshine type stuff, like white lightning kind of stuff, if you want to. But it's real simple. If you go to the dollar store and get the alcohol, and then you mix. And bro, when we did COVID-19, so I created this strain called COVID-19, right? And once we tried to make dabs, right? We got a press over here. We tried to press dabs, and the shit came out super green, and like we have it on a piece of paper right here. You want to see this?
Oh yeah, please.
You show him that cool thing while I keep talking. Yeah. So we made dabs, and this is just a little example of it right here. It might be too cold to even show you.
Oh,
Maybe
it's
the other
too
side.
cold.
Maybe the other side.
It usually gets sticky and it's all like, oh yeah.
oh.
It could literally be the new
Other
Gorilla
way.
Glue, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, it got a little cold, but
Oh,
yeah,
it's ripping. No.
it's insane. This is the COVID strain, bro. It's just so gooey, strong like glue, right? So we
Strong
were
like
pressing
glue.
it, and I was like, dude, what am I gonna do with this stuff? I was like rolling it up like candy kind of thing.
It's like one of
take
those
it, right?
pizza things that just keeps going and going. The string just
yeah.
does not end on this.
People are
thing.
like, put it in the freezer. I put it in the freezer. That's been in the freezer for literally almost a year, dude. And we just pulled it out, and it's still gooey like that, right? So, so we made RSOs with it. Now, mind you, it was super green. You saw it's changing color probably because it cured for so long in the freezer. We made RSOs. Dude, the shit looked like what was it?
Like antifreeze.
Antifreeze.
It was so full of
Green.
chlorophyll.
Oh my
So
god, it
full
was
of
so
chlorophyll.
green, so
And
full of chlorophyll.
if you do your research on RSO or just really just chlorophyll in general, it's like people are like drinking chlorophyll, like,
for
health and like, gym rats and stuff like that.
Yep.
They're like, yeah, some chlorophyll is bright green generally. You're like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Yep.
So, the stuff is really good for you in pure form. It's full of it. COVID-19 is like all of them are full of it, but this one is literally just yelling at you. Like it's just so it makes it almost, because it is that medicinal for you. It makes it the perfect RSO strain. It has all of that chlorophyll in there, and yeah.
Yeah, I tried one, bro, just to test it. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to take the RSOs too much because I got to be up all the time to watch the plants. So I'm like, this shit will fuck you up.
It will.
So like, I took one day, and I was sitting there doing something. I'm watching TV, and I went to go eat. I was eating a snack, and I went to go take a bite, and my eyeballs went. I was like, whoa. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? I was trash, dude. You're gonna love RSOs. So that's how you make the mixture, right? And then you take it in. You can take it in a really super fine strain if you want to, right? But the finer your strain, the finer your strain is, we try to grow huge trichomes. We don't really care how big the plant is. I want some big fat heads, right?
Right.
So when you're trying to dissolve all this down, sometimes they just don't get dissolved. So the finer your mesh is, you will collect actually a whole layer of trichomes, and you're missing a lot of medicine. Or you can go just a little bit finer. You're not going to get plant material. You go to the one where you just don't get plant material. The whole point is to strain it, right? Strain all the plant material from all that liquid. And then you take all that liquid in a crock pot, or a little rice cooker, and then you want to evaporate all that alcohol down, and it turns into like oil, bro. Oh my god! Now
the purest of oil.
Yeah. Now you can cook it down into get it maybe a
gold.
tar, maybe a chunk of tar if you wanted to, and you really work with it scientifically and get in there stoner like. We get it down to a tar and then put it in capsules. And one capsule is a 0.6257 or something like that, whatever they are, and milligrams. So I don't know what weight that is. I think they're 0.6 still on the scale when we did the shrooms. But that's of the RSOs. Oh, yeah, milliliters for RSOs. I don't want to talk about. I was thinking shrooms. But yeah, so it's like 0.6275 or something like that for the milliliters of these little capsules. So she usually takes 2.
I generally take them at night though. Like there's a lot of different ways you can take RSO, and there's a lot of different types, potencies out there, of course, just like with weed. So I mean, if you take like a little dab on something, not an entire pill or anything like that, you can feel, pretty decent and even keel, and takes your pain away and stuff like that. You just kind of have to test it out, find out the best way for you to for you to take the RSO, because RSO is not the most flavorful thing in the world. Okay, that shit is nasty, which is why we put it in pill form.
Right.
So I can
It's like
pop a
shrooms.
pill and not have to worry about tasting the shit.
Just like the
So
shrooms.
some people put it on like a bread, or some people will. You can even put it in like your dishes if you want to.
Okay.
This is some pure RSO right here.
Yeah.
This is what was left on the bottom of the last cook, and we couldn't get into the syringes into the pills, so
Yeah.
it's just
Okay.
kind of conglomerated into one big blob.
So
We didn't want to
literally-
waste it.
It literally is like a black tar. Now you can the less you cook this and have the more oil in it, or alcohol, I mean, you'll have it more runny. And then some people could put water into it, and then you'll see like it's an oil, like hash oil. It's
Yep.
the same kind of thing, right? But if you cook it down more refined, it'll turn into this RSO, Rick Simpson oil. In my personal opinion, I really think this is the same thing that our parents were making back in the day, and they called it hash oil. I just maybe think they weren't cooking it down as pure, or they had more shitty weed. You know what I'm saying? But if you look up RSO on the internet, no, they're fine. My hands are cold. And you look up what are the best strains to make RSO with. COVID-19 is not yet on that list, but I think it's going to be there soon. But it comes up with all these really cool strains that are available for us to purchase and grow. I'm not even holding them up there.
Nope.
And we can purchase them and grow. So these are what they look like in capsule forms, like all that oil.
Yep.
And then you fill up. What you do is we have this whole mold. It's a mold that holds like one side.
Okay.
Of the capsule. Remember, I don't sell Molly no more.
Yeah.
Put that in there,
Yeah.
So
RSO now.
that's your shit. You fill up one side, and then you capsule it, and then it kind of spreads out, right? So we take two. I'll take one.
But like I was saying before, though, is that I do take mine at bedtime, because I know me, and I'm an active person by nature, and I do not want to fuck with my day. So I make sure and give myself enough time that I'm going to sleep it out and be good for the next morning.
It's either a
and you
party.
You have to give some test runs. Give yourself some test runs, so give yourself a good 12 hours to figure out what you need to do.
So what has it benefited for you medically?
For me,
yes,
I would say, like, really, it's the way that I'm taking my RSO right now is just to, I will always have in the back of my head that I have cancer. Cancer doesn't go away. So, I have never needed necessarily cannabis for medicinal purposes other than to fight my cancer. So I take it for that purpose. I don't take it to relieve anxiety. I don't take it like for a lot of the ailments that people do take it for. I don't need it for currently anyway. I did then last year, but I don't necessarily now. I like to putz. I like to do things all day, and the RSO will put me down into a level where I'm not going to want to do shit just because that's the way my cannabinoids work. Yeah, I can't. I don't like that.
You kind of use it as a sleep med then.
I use it as a sleep med. Exactly. I use it as a sleep med, and for those who are having problems with sleep, I absolutely suggest one pill, even for try one and then two if you need more. But it knocks you the fuck out, man. You will have the best motherfucking sleep you've had in so long.
You will wake up with a stoner nap, though. Hangover.
You will if you do not give yourself enough of the time to get yourself. So, like for me, the sun wakes me up. I get woken up with light very easily. I'm a day person by nature, so I have to take it very early at night for it to get through my system, for me not feel that hangover in the morning. So that's why I say give yourself enough time.
So you take it and then let it start working, and then you hit the hay.
Yeah, exactly. I give myself at least two, sometimes even 3 hours before I actually go to sleep, so that it kind of, I don't have
But
to
it
worry
gets you
about
there.
having that on the next morning.
Puts you on that level because I have a ritual that I do every night about 2 hours before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
I have to do it, and then I can go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically, how this is. Just pop it then.
Pop it an hour before
Pop
you go
it
to bed.
then,
If you take it like too long and you have too much shit to do before you go to bed, you can be fucked. But like for you, that's what I was thinking, that maybe you might want to take it how you might take shrooms. Not in a microdose, but take a one, make a capsule, and then you take one and then see what those effects do to you during the day. So the full feeling. Like for me, let's take this shit. Let's go. I want to see what's the deal. I know though, underlining everything, all the effects that you feel, that medicine is working.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That medicine is in your body working.
Yeah.
So like for her, she takes it while she sleeps because she needs to be up during the day. But underlining that is we're fighting that hormonal breast cancer. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're fighting without the medication that she's supposed to be on.
So
Right.
Like for you,
with the pain during the day and stuff like that, I would find out what your smaller dose would be to keep that manageable during the day, but not put you into that lazy.
Like a daytime dose,
and then at night do a nighttime dose because you got trouble.
You just have to figure out what it is for you.
I think it would level out your brain too. Like it would be like taking shrooms. I think you're going to find cannabis once you get it refined down and you find that right strain that gets you. I'm telling you, it's the same kind of enlightenment, kind of cool feeling. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, I'm seeing freaking Smurfs and shit. You're not hallucinating. But you will. If you take too much, you will be. Motor skills are going to be fucked.
Yeah, because I heard people that said it helps with inflammatory. It helps
everything.
Helps with everything, and I'm just saying, like that pill would make me live a fucking really normal life.
I really think it would. That's why I was surprised that you weren't into that yet. But I'm glad that you found it. I'm glad that you researched it, and now you're getting into it and asking questions.
Well, now that you guys
dude, I can bring you some. I can make some and bring it to you.
I'm thinking, where are they?
And you guys taste of. If you guys don't know who Brain Jerk is, I know I share this out to the whole fucking planet. But listen, if you guys don't know who Brain Jerk Entertainment is, this is them over here. They're freaking
we're on their show,
awesome.
Right?
Yeah, but I shared it out to a lot of people. I'm talking to all the people out there ghosting us or watching us. Right? So this Brain Jerk Entertainment, they do a taste of. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Taste of.
I suck with names, bro. You'll have to get rid of that.
You're good.
Cut it out later. You know what I mean? So listen.
We're live, baby. It's okay.
I know. I'm just joking. So that show is freaking awesome, bro. It is well put together. That's like some real shit you see, like straight the fuck up, man. And it's really, I love it. It's entertainment. And that hot dog stand, like I think I want to go on a trip because that's what we don't have here, man.
He talks about it all the fucking time. Like,
hey,
we
bring
need
some
a
RSO.
hot dog stand.
Bring some RSO and you can come to the hot dog stand. I'll let you in.
Hey, Twisted, can you put $2 in quarters on your elbow and catch it?
I probably can because I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna get me some free hot dogs. I'm
gonna go down to the circus.
I'm an Aries, bro. I'm an Aries. I'll try. I don't know if I have the quarters around.
We're gonna be practicing much.
So come to Misfits Mondays and we'll do that game. We'll try it. I don't want to try it now. I'll hit her.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
Oh, I just knocked Hippie Witch out.
No, but I would love to absolutely be one of the first persons to ever introduce you to the world of RSOs.
Oh yeah,
sure.
I'm doing research on it, and I've been talking to my dad about it, and a lot of people about it. I'm getting a lot of. Nothing is bad at all. The only thing bad I hear about it is you get way too fucked up.
No, you really do.
You do.
You
That's
really
why
do.
you have
You really do, dude. That's true.
Yeah, it is.
No,
it's very
so
true.
Here's the thing. It's either a party, you know, if you're down to party and you're like, I want to get fucked up right now. Let me take this shit. And you ain't doing nothing else. You don't ain't, I mean, I'm talking nothing, bro. You better start pounding energy drinks when you take that bitch. That's what you better start doing. Start revving your shit up, man, because you're in for a ride, right? And then, or either it's a party or it's just medicine for you. You know what I'm saying? And you're using it at specific times and in the right amounts so that you're medicated or you're medicated and about to go down for a nap or to go to bed. Because that's the medicine is still going to work for you in there. You know what I mean? But it's your mind that when you're awake, your mind will remember all that shit that you're going to go through when you're asleep. You're going through it still when you're asleep, but you're dreaming, bro. You might have the most fantastic dreams. Like for me, I can control my dreams. I literally kept getting my ass kicked by zombies and werewolves and crazy shit in my dreams. And we're all in the Dragon Ball Z and tripping our asses off. Like I put in the chat before, I was like, man, we used to literally eat 10 strips and half sheets of fucking acid, dude. Just rip them off and fucking eat them and party. We go to Nelson's Ledges and shit. It's wild days, man. Raised, right?
I know.
back in the day, right? So, yeah, it was great times. Damn, I forgot where I was going with that. But
I just know I wanted to party with you back then.
Oh yeah, it was good times. We might have even ran into each other. Who knows?
No, dude, I'm only 28.
But you never know. Shit, I'm only 40. That was a 20 years difference. Who knows?
Who knows?
You're partying. He's probably playing football.
He's like, what?
Yeah, I was. I was. The motherfucker probably playing football.
RSO will literally get you on that level. It's either going to be a party. I was getting into control my dreams. So, like, you know, I had to learn how to fly and fight back and stuff like that, and not just get beat up. Like, you guys ever fall off a ladder and like right before you hit the ground, you wake up? Right? If you hit that ground, you're probably going to die in your dream. You're going to have a heart attack. Is probably what's going to happen in my knowledge of it, right? So I would always have that happen to me, bro. I used to have these nightmares, and they used to control my consciousness, right? And then, like scared, and I was like, wow, what the fuck? I'd wake up terrified. So I had to learn how to control this shit and fight, and I learned how to do this really through Dragon Ball Z. I always talk about it, like, fucking fire, you know.
You Kamehameha that motherfucker?
Oh, God, man. Kamehameha the motherfuckers and all kinds of shit, dude. And learn how to fly and can control my dreams and conjure things in my dreams. Like, you know how you're walking through a dream and then, you know, you have to go through it like it's a video game, but you just turn sideways and like, hey, man, let's go this way for a while. You know, let's be somebody else. Let's be that person for a while. You know, you just think it, and that's your thought control when your human flesh is in control and or in touch, in sync with your consciousness, which we all believe is your soul. So, you know, when you're on the RSOs or mushrooms while you're sleeping, when you have these vivid, crazy fucking dreams, you know, that is your whole fucking existence happening right there. That's like what you would experience when you're awake, except now your fucking conscious is in control, right? Like when you're awake tripping, your conscious isn't in control. You're in control. So you your brain is focusing on certain things or trying to block shit out because you get scared of certain things or things happen. But when you're passed out, your human's done. Your human's off. That link is severed. Now your consciousness is in control. And if you one that remembers your dreams and you're like, there was a wild fucking ride, man. You know, that's what's going to happen when you're on the RSOs or the DMT or even mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's powerful. All that medicine is still working. You know, they use shrooms for headaches too, migraines.
I read about that, but I didn't see a lot about that. I've seen a lot about PTSD, anxiety, and all that. Like they researched it a lot in Colorado Colorado, the actual University of Colorado actually got because it's legal there, they got to research about it. And
Yeah.
so they're finding some shit out about it, and they're actually getting pretty far.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully.
I think it's pretty easy though when it's medicine, They get to do scientific studies and stuff,
I tell my therapist about it, everything. I tell her all about it. She knows the whole shebang, dude. I'm like, hey, shut up, but listen to this. I'm fucking tripping balls right now,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
keep your pill, man. I don't want your pills, man. Let me get some shrooms. What if they start like prescribing shrooms, like those little pills that I was holding up? That's also how we do our shrooms. So we grind them up in a grinder and put them on the pills, so we don't have to taste them. You guys are like, put them on pizza.
I'll put them on a PB and J. Peanut butter and jelly, 4 grams on a PB and J. But you're gonna hear me a few times go.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's right there. We don't do none of that.
Because I don't drink soda or nothing like that. But if I don't have a soda or a Kool-Aid, if I don't have a soda or a Kool-Aid with that peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'm it's so dry and nasty, dude.
That just does not sound okay.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. I did it in a tea one time, and that was totally fine. But I got way too high, way too fast.
Oh, really?
I grounded up a couple stems, and it was 2 grams. I ground it up real good in a grinder, put it in this tea bag, mixed it with this. I didn't know at the time. I thought it was immune building because it said immune builder, the type of tea it was, but it was called sleepy time tea, and it really made the fucking trip fun. But as soon as I got done drinking that tea, I took the tea bag and ate all the mushrooms that were in the tea bag. And it immediately, as soon as I swallowed those things, it immediately happened. And
they were all soaked and ready to be digested. That's what it was. They were all like just.
Yep. I was stuck in a meadow because the yellow flowers were waving and the sun was it was beautiful. I was stuck in the meadow. I got lost for a minute in the woods.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I didn't care.
No worries.
That was a god dose right there, buddy. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. I bet.
It's like concentrate.
See, different shrooms are different potencies, and like on the Grow Bigger Go Home show, I had a little shroom episode I found on TikTok, and it was like the most like common known most potent shrooms. It cut it off though, but you can find it on my Instagram. But it has all these different kinds, like penis envy and this yellow cap or whatever the fuck, different ones. And there was one that was super fucking strong. They're like, be careful with that. Like, where can we get spores of that one?
There's ones that have dark blue veins running through it, and you're like, I'm not eating this. This is gonna kill me.
No, that's why. You know how like when we eat shrooms, dude, we got to eat so fucking much. Like people are talking about 4 grams. What if you only had to take a nibble, and that was enough? Like,
that is enough. That's what I've realized. It's enough. But sometimes I want to see what God's doing.
Oh no, I like to get some stuff going here.
Hey God, how you doing? I'm back.
Yeah, exactly. Hi God, how you doing?
Yeah,
my tummy hurts. Let me go take a shit.
Like Stony the Mad Dabber.
I got more questions.
Yeah. Stony the Mad Dabber's like, my skin is vibrating.
Yeah, what do I do? Because I'm buzzing and the walls are breathing as my lungs are breathing. So, all right, plug your guys' self in where we could find you. I got one more question after you plug yourself in.
Okay.
Right, cool. I'm Twisted Roots. You can find me on YouTube, pretty much everywhere else. I don't do much on Facebook. I'm my real name there. If you can find me, you can find me. It's pretty simple. I'm on Instagram. That's pretty cool shit. If you guys ever want to watch the most conspiracy things or everything that happened pretty much in 2020 that they haven't blocked from me, I have it all there. It's pretty wild. And I'm not racist or take any sides of whatsoever. I'm all about America and freedom. So it's all non-biased. It's all just captured as I thought interesting points were needed to be kept about history. But that's where I'm at. And MichiGanjA MisfiTZ. And that's about it.
So,
What about you?
We're MichiGanjA MisfiTZ. I'm Amber Lalana, and that's pretty much where I am all over the place. Or the Hippie Witch. I have a page. I have a channel. I'm on Insta. I am on Facebook. Blah blah blah. You know all the dealio. So yeah, find us all over the place and hang out and check out our life. Twin Flame Farms.
Yeah, Twin Flame
Let's
Farms.
not forget Twin Flame Farms. This is our farm, Twin Flame Farms with
we're
a Z.
Okay, this question's for both of you. Each one of you, answer it just like you did the first one. Last thing to say to the world. What are you saying?
I say grow organic, grow with frequency, and be prepared for 2020. As I always warn you guys what's coming in the future. If you thought that shit was crazy this year or last year, wait till 2020 and start growing your food. Start saving your toilet paper, people. Save your water.
So the last thing I'm going to say is stop the bullshit and love each other.
Stop the bullshit and love each other.
Yeah.
Seems like we need a conspiracy podcast with fucking Twisted Roots in the future.
I need a flat earther. God, I wish I was there, bro.
Don't even
I
get me
wish I
started.
was there. I would teach you.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna try everything I can to set that up.
Only thing with that is he doesn't. Okay, so he went live not that long ago, and I mentioned something, and somebody said, maybe him, said that he avoids those type of podcasts like the plague.
Exactly. He won't.
He doesn't want to be proved wrong.
He
That's
don't want the
probably why.
conversation. He don't want the confrontation. But see, what it is normally when you have a flat earther, round earth, circular earth conversation, one side gets pissed off, and it's usually the round earthers because we can't understand why we can't.
Yeah.
We don't get it. And that's I just want to know who. I'm not mad. I'm not mad he's a sheeple. I'm not mad he's not enlightened yet, but he will be, But
and then that's it for episode 95. I forgot what I was doing, dude. That's it for episode 95 of Pillar Talk. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I had a great conversation. You guys have a good day. I love every single one of you. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.